Mm, 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 mm. Bum, 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 ba-dum. Well, good morning, everyone. I hope this day finds you well. It is a great day, an outstanding day to be alive. It is better to be on top of the ground than the ground on top of you. Good morning to you. It is December the 9th, 2025. It is a day that has never been, and it is a day, believe it or not, that won't ever be again. It is a once in a lifetime deal. Once it's over, you don't get a do over. You don't get it back. You don't get to summon it from the past. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you should do this day that you don't. And you certainly don't get a chance to come back and undo the things that you do. So, whatever it is that you do with this day, December the 9th, 2025, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you be proud of what you have done. Benjamin Elijah May said, whatever we do in life, we should do it so well, no man living, no man dead, no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say, if that is the standard by which you live your life, you'll always be successful because you'll only be a failure if you quit. We say, give out if you must, rest if you can, but you never, ever give up because quitters will never win. And while winners may lose every once in a while, they never quit. My mother said, all you have to do to keep moving is put one foot, just one, in front of the other. Good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine.
We change the world in history right here where we're from. It's no beginning to you and me, cause we're not done. In our city, in our city, in our city, we're not done. I appreciate that.
Well, it's time to rise and shine. One more day above the ground, and the ground, of course, is not above you. Good morning to you. Again, it is the 9th day of December. It is time to rise and shine because our time, it is time for our daily bread. I forgot to put my daily bread sandwich. I know I was in a hurry to do something. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is Decisions, Why do we call it that? Because everything we do requires us to make a decision. And even when we don't make one, we just made one. No. The decisions of life determine how that life turns out. Good morning to you. Next up is our daily bread. You'll see you on the backside.
Every moment filled with your warm embrace.
Hello, thanks for joining us for Our Daily Bread. Your host is Les Lambourne.
Do you thank God for His indescribable gift? A Giving Competition is the title of today's meditation, written by Ann Cetus. A television commercial I enjoy at Christmas time shows two neighbors in a friendly competition with each other to see who can spread the most Christmas cheer. Each keeps an eye on the other as he decorates his house and trees with lights. Then each upgrades his own property to look better than the others. They then start competing over who can give the most extravagantly to other neighbors, running around, cheerfully sharing gifts. God's people aren't in a competition to see who can give the most, but we are called to be ready to give, willing to share. The Apostle Paul instructed the church at Corinth in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7, "Let each one give as he purposes in his heart, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loves a cheerful giver." At Christmas time, as we share gifts with others, we remember the generosity of God toward us. He gave us His Son. Ray Stedman said, "Jesus set aside His riches and entered into His creation in a state of poverty in order to enrich us all by His grace." No gift-giving could ever compete with the Lord's extravagance. We thank God for the indescribable gift of Jesus. 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 6 through 15 describes the real cause for giving. And I'll read from 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 6 through 15. "But this I say, he who sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and he who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. So let each one give as he purposes in his heart, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loves a cheerful giver. And God is able to make all grace abound toward you, that you, always having all sufficiency in all things, may have an abundance for every good work. As it is written, He has dispersed abroad, He has given to the poor, His righteousness endures forever. Now may He who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food supply and multiply the seed you have sown and increase the fruits of your righteousness, while you are enriched in everything for all liberality, which causes thanksgiving through us to God. For the administration of this service not only supplies the needs of the saints, but also is abounding through many thanksgivings to God, while through the proof of this ministry they glorify God for the obedience of your confession to the gospel of Christ, and for your liberal sharing with them and all men, and by their prayer for you, who long for you because of the exceeding grace of God in you. Thanks be to God for His indescribable gift." Father, as Christmas draws near, we thank you for the reminder of your indescribable gift of the Lord Jesus to all mankind, that through His death, burial, and resurrection, that we might receive Christ as our Savior from sin. Thank you, Father. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. And as you think about today's meditation, remember, no gift is greater than the gift of Christ Himself. If you found help from today's reading, we'd encourage you to tell others about this ministry. And you can also check out odb.org for other resources that may be of help to you. Look under the Resources tab at the top of the page for more helpful material, such as Answers to Tough Questions, which covers a wide variety of topics. And you can read them online at odb.org.
Alrighty then. Okay, let me turn these headphones up here again. Okay, there we go. Okay, sometimes I can't even hear all of these things. Anyway, all right, turn that down so I can see myself there. There you go. Okay, down a little bit there. Okay, well, maybe it won't go down any further. Okay. Well, I don't need to see myself that much anyway. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. Now, yesterday, I was trying to play this part, and it didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but I fixed it last night, and I'm going to play it right now. And now, scheduled to be here today. At least that's what I was told yesterday. The mayor, and they had some interesting things at the city council meeting yesterday. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And is it time that Montgomery has a civic center? That's an interesting question. I mean, every other major, Columbus, Georgia got a civic center. They're about the same size we are. Well, we can talk about all that stuff later on. Anyway, good morning, and we also got a couple other things that we need to talk about before the mayor gets here. Where is my where's my thing at? Where is my thing at? Okay, where is my thingamajigger? Okay, here we go. Right here. Okay. Let me see. One Stop Wireless. Don't forget about them. Also, we getting down a gay title. Come on, man. Decisions is a great title, because can you see, you decided to say that. You see what I mean? So everybody, okay, makes decisions. So now, whether you don't like it or not, well, that's a whole different, that's a whole different ballgame. But everybody makes decisions. You can't get around it, no matter how hard you try. It is you just got to make them. Everybody makes them. Now the question is, how how is your decision making process going? See, that's the whole question. It's got nothing to do with anything else. Okay, so don't be harsh. Okay, I'm just saying. Just like, give me a little more. Give me a couple of moments here to to wake up. Okay, it's like you're making that other decision. It's like you're okay. You got to explain that one to me. You probably talking about my decision not to put money in my 401 in my 401k that I didn't know what it was. That's the dumbest thing I've ever done. Okay, it's up there. Okay, I just put it this way. It's up there. Okay, with some of the dumbest decisions ever made. I mean, I really thought that 401ks were for management and rich people, especially white people. Because I never saw a movie with Richard Pryor back in the day. So nobody ever mentioned a 401k. The only time I remember hearing a 401k is what's that what is Wizard of Wall Street or whatever. I mean, I know we don't talk about those kinds of things, you know. But I'm telling you, if you more like cogitations. Well, listen, you guys, if you go to work someplace and they offer you a 401k, even though you think you may not last there long, like me, I thought I was going to be there. I thought I was going to be there a year, maybe. Because normally in radio, you don't get a chance to stick around unless you're playing rap music, so you can kill a whole community. You don't get a chance to stick around very long sometimes. So I figured, the next thing you know, it's 24 years. How much money could I have saved? I just didn't know. I ought to sue somebody for not telling me. I should sue somebody for not telling me what it was. Okay, I'm just anyway. Jimmy V, I think you'll like this. It is a message of hope, eternal thought. It is a message of never give up, never ever give up. Because sometimes we all want to, don't we? Yes, we do. This is 1993, right before he died. Okay, so Jimmy Valvano, the former coach of the what's it? I don't. It was one of them. Anyway, here he is.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's the lowest I've ever seen Dick Vitale since the owner of the Detroit Pistons called him in and told him he should go into broadcasting. Right? I can't tell you what an honor it is to even be mentioned in the same breath with an Arthur Ashe. This is something I certainly will treasure forever. But as was said on the tape, I don't have one of those things going to cue cards, so I'm going to speak longer than anybody else has spoken tonight. That's the way it goes. Time is very precious to me. I don't know how much I have left, and I have some things that I would like to say. Hopefully, at the end, I'll have something that will be important to other people too. But I can't help it. Now when I'm fighting cancer, everybody knows that. And people ask me all the time about how you go through your life and how's your day. And nothing has changed for me. As Dick said, I'm a very emotional, passionate man. I can't help it. That's being the son of Rocco and Angelina Valvano. That just comes with the territory, right? We hug, we kiss, we love. And when people say to me, how do you get through life or each day, it's the same thing. To me, there are three things we all should do every day. If we do this every day of our life, you're going to have, what a wonderful, number one is laugh. You should laugh every day. Number two is think. You should spend some time in thought. And number three is you should have your emotions moved to tears. Could be happiness or joy. But think about it. If you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day. You do that 7 days a week, you're going to have something special. And so, I can't help. I rode on the plane up today with Mike Krzyzewski, my good friend and a wonderful coach, but people don't realize he's a 10 times better person than he is a coach, and we know he's a great coach. He's meant a lot to me in these last 5 or 6 months of my battle. But when I look at Mike, I think we competed against each other as players. I coached against him for 15 years, and I always have to think about what's important in life is to think, to me, of three things: where you started, where you are, and where you're going to be. Those are the three things that I try and do every day. And, you know, when I think about getting up and giving a speech, I can't help it. I have to remember the first speech I ever gave. I was coaching at Rutgers University. That was my first job. That's wonderful. And I was the freshman coach. That's when freshmen played on freshman teams. And I was so fired up about my first job. I see Lou Holtz, Coach Holtz here. What was it like the first job you had, right? The very first time you stood in the locker room to give a pep talk. That's a special place, the locker room, for a coach to give a talk. So my idol as a coach was Vince Lombardi. And I read this book called Commitment to Excellence by Vince Lombardi. And in the book, Lombardi talked about the first time he spoke before his Green Bay Packer team in the locker room. They were perennial losers. And I'm reading this, and Lombardi said he was thinking, should it be a long talk, a short talk? But he wanted to be emotional. He said, be brief. And this is what he did. Normally you get in the locker room, 25 minutes, a half hour before the team takes the field. You do your little X and O's, and then you give the great Newt Rockety talk. We all do. Speech number 84. You pull them right out. You get ready. Get your squad ready. This is the first one I ever gave. And I read this thing, Lombardi, what he said was he didn't go in. He waited. His team was wondering, where is he? Where is this great coach? He's not there. 10 minutes. He's still not there. 3 minutes before they have to take the field, Lombardi comes in, bangs the door open, and I think you all remember what great presence he had, right? Great presence. And he walked in, and he just walked back and forth like this, just staring at the players. And he said, all eyes on me. And I'm reading this in this book, and I'm getting a picture of this Lombardi before his first game. And he said, gentlemen, we will be successful this year. You can focus on three things and three things only: your family, your religion, and the Green Bay Packers. And he like that. And the rest of it, they knocked the walls down. The rest was history. I said, that's beautiful. I'm going to do that. Your family, your religion, and Rutgers basketball. That's it. I had it. I'm 21 years old. The kids I'm coaching are 19. All right? And I'm going to be the greatest coach in the world, the next Lombardi. And I'm ready. And I'm practicing out right beside the locker room. The manager's telling me, you got to go in. Not yet. Family, religion, Rutgers basketball. All eyes on me. I got it. And now finally he said, 3 minutes. I said, fine. True story. I go to knock the doors open, just like Lombardi. Boom! They didn't open. I almost broke my arm. I was like, it was one that didn't open. Now I'm down. The players are looking. Coach, help the coach up. Help him up. And now I did like Lombardi. I walked back and forth, right? And I was going like that with my arm, get the feeling back in it. And finally I said, gentlemen, all eyes on me. And these kids wanted to play. They're 19. Let's go. I said, gentlemen, we'll be successful this year if you can focus on three things and three things only. They said, yeah. I said, your family, your religion, and the Green Bay Packers, I told you. I did that. I remember that. I remember where I came from. It's so important to know where you are. And I know where I am right now. How do you go from where you are to where you want to be? And I think you have to have an enthusiasm for life. You have to have a dream, a goal, and you have to be willing to work for it. I talked about my family. My family is so important. People think I have courage. The courage of my family is my wife, Pam, my 3 daughters here, Nicole, Jamie, Leanne, my mom, who is right here too, and that screen is flashing up there 30 seconds like I care about that screen right now, huh? I got tumors all over my body. I'm worried about some guy in the back going 30 seconds, huh? You got a lot. Hey, phenomenal, buddy. You got a lot. Right, it should be. I just got one last thing. I urge all of you, to enjoy your life, the precious moments you have, to spend each day with some laughter and some thought, to get your emotions going, to be enthusiastic every day. And Ralph Waldo Emerson said, nothing great can be accomplished without enthusiasm, to keep your dreams alive in spite of problems, whatever you have, to be able to work hard for your dreams to come true, become a reality. Now I look at where I am now, and I know what I want to do. What I would like to be able to do is to spend whatever time I have left and to give and maybe some hope to others. All right? Arthur Ashe Foundation is a wonderful thing. And AIDS, the amount of money pouring in for AIDS is not enough, but it is significant. But if I told you it's 10 times the amount that goes in for cancer research, I also tell you that 500,000 people will die this year of cancer. And I also tell you that 1 in every 4 will be afflicted with this disease. And yet, for somehow, we seem to have put it in a little bit of the background. I want to bring it back on the front table. We need your help. I need your help. We need money for research. It may not save my life. It may save my children's lives. It may save someone you love. And it's very important. And ESPN has been so kind to support me in this endeavor and allow me to announce tonight that with ESPN's support, which means what? Their money and their dollars, that they're helping me, we are starting the Jimmy V Foundation for Cancer Research. And its motto is, don't give up, don't ever give up. And that's what I'm going to try to do. Every minute that I have left, I will thank God for the day and the moment I have. And if you see me, smile and maybe give me a hug, because that's important to me too. But try, if you can, to support, whether it's AIDS or the Cancer Foundation, so that someone else might survive, might prosper, and might actually be cured of this dreaded disease. I can't thank ESPN enough for allowing this to happen, and I'm going to work as hard as I can, for cancer research, and hopefully maybe we'll have some cures and some breakthroughs. And I'd like to think I'm going to fight my brains out to be back here again next year for the Arthur Ashe recipient. I want to give it next year. I know I've got to go. I've got to go, and I've got one last thing. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Cancer can take away all my physical abilities. It cannot touch my mind, it cannot touch my heart, and it cannot touch my soul. And those 3 things are going to carry on forever. I thank you, and God bless you all.
Jimmy Valvano. It encourages you to try to be a little stronger, try to believe a little harder. More importantly, never, ever give up. Because quitters will never win. And winners lose every once in a while, but they don't ever quit. I didn't know that was 93. Wow. Jimmy's been gone a long time. Is that the scariest 6-letter word in the English language? Cancer. CANCER. It is the scariest word. I have a sister that died a few years ago, of that dreaded, dreaded disease, breast cancer. And I got to tell you, I don't look at the pink. I don't look at the pink things anymore the same way I used to. I used to just look at them and say, okay. It's amazing. It is an inconvenience when your neighbor has a problem. It is a tragedy when you have it. So, and things about tragedies, they make you look at life a little bit differently. But yeah, I look at those pink ribbons a whole lot different than I ever have in my life, and just it that I think that's the only time. It's the only thing that has made a grown man cry. It is just, uh, and there's nothing to do. And the thing about it is that you have people that you care about that get sick and things like, and you realize there's absolutely nothing you can do but pray. You do realize that. I mean, just nothing you can do. It still breaks my heart today. So let me get off of it. Anyway, so I said I wasn't ever going back to South Bend, but she made a liar out of me. I went back. And I even drove back, believe it or not, after about 10, 15 years of not getting on the freeway. I actually drove back home, and I took a picture. I got a little movie. I made a little movie when I hit South Bend, and I went out to hey, let me get you a joke, and I get on something serious here. I got home, right? Okay, it was 2020 during the height of the COVID thing. So I'm driving up the road. I'm wondering where I'm going to stay because everybody's got all these interstate mask regulations and all that stuff, and I didn't have the mask on me and all that stuff, and so I'm going home and I get to South Bend and I find me a hotel, and I said, well, I'm gonna stay here for the night. And then next day I get up and guess where I head out to? The first place I head out to. Where do you think I head to? I head out to my sister's house first place. Then after that, I went out to the University of Notre Dame, but I was so unfamiliar with South Bend, having been gone for a long, long time. My nephew had to drive me around, but I went out to the University of Notre Dame. Okay, I went out there. I used to sleep out when I used to run away from home all the time. I used to sleep underneath the steps at the University of Notre Dame. I had problems coming up. Um, I, I got problems. Matter of fact, my mother should have named me Problem because I had plenty of. But anyway, so I used to go out there. But I went home and I went out to the University of Notre Dame. And this is how you know you've been in Alabama too long. So I'm sitting on the bench by the plaque about Ara Parsegan and Newt Rockney, right? So I'm sitting out there and I'm sitting on the bench and said, okay, just thinking about life and the journeys I have been through and along with other people. But for some reason, I pulled a pen out of my jacket. And on the University of Notre Dame, in right next to Newt Rockney, I wrote these words: ROLLTIDE. I knew I had been, I knew I had been in Alabama too long when I wrote Roll Tide. Listen, if Ara Parsegan or Newt Rockney could have came off that thing right there, they'd have smacked me silly. But anyway, so much for that. Uh, so much for that one. Anyway, those are the lessons of life. I was just been in Alabama too long. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope this day finds you well. I'll just tell you now, if the folks out there knew I had wrote Roll Tide on their bench, they probably would have been a little bit upset at me out there. Since last time we beat those guys, last time we beat those guys was 1973. I thought it was 72 in the Sugar Bowl. I think it was in Sugar Bowl or Cotton Bowl, one of those bowls. I was too young to know what the bowls were back then anyway. I just know we haven't beat them since then. And And of course, our favorite curmudgeon, Don says, I just made that up. Well, Don, I'm with you, brother. Listen, I have realized that your name should be problem child number 2 because you got issues too. But I ain't mad at you. That's okay. You can think of it. No, I didn't make that up. I was out there and I actually I actually did it. Roll Tide. I don't know what I was thinking about. But anyway, I haven't been back home since 2020, as a matter of fact. Uh, but I may have to go home again. I may have to go home one more time without being on the train in a box. So we'll see. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope this day finds you well. First of all, let me tell you about our sponsor. And of course, our sponsor of our show, before I get to anything seriously today, one of our sponsors, of course, is here it is right here. I got it right there. Where's it? There we go. One Stop Wireless at 334-320-2988 at 3445 Atlanta Highway, right on the corner of Atlanta Highway and Coliseum Boulevard. You'll see a Shell station right there, and they don't get there till about 9 o'clock or so. But here's one of the services that they give you that nobody else will. Okay, you got an old phone at home? Not so old, maybe not so old. But why buy one when you got one, right? They can, no matter who it was on, there's a 95% chance that she can turn your phone on for you. Okay, no matter who it was with before, she can turn it on for you. That way, at least it saves you the expense of buying another cell phone. Okay, so it's called One Stop Wireless, and they got programs where you can $25 a month. You got phone service, whether you take your own or you buy one from those guys, they got a phone that is within your price range. Okay, it's called One Stop Wireless. Again, it is 3445 Atlanta Highway, which is located on the corner of Atlanta Highway and Coliseum Boulevard, right inside the same building with the Shell gas station right there on the corner. Okay, listen, take it. It's Christmas time is coming. We got to save money. No sense in buying another phone if you don't need one. When they can take yours and turn it back on for you anyway. Okay, so why buy one? Let them turn yours back on for you. Okay, or if it's so old that you want a new one, they got new ones. They got Google Pixel phone. They got Apple. They got Samsung. They got all kind of phones down there. Okay, please go down there and help those that help us. At least they keep us on. They help and keep me on the air here. Where we don't call this air, but it's kind of like the air. Somewhere the internet's going through the air. So anyway, so go down there and see those guys. Okay, and it's called One Stop Wireless. And I'm just telling you, they do good work. I've been with them for about 10 years. I've been dumped by a lot of carriers, but I've been with these guys for the whole time because the service is always on. I don't have to worry about it going out. They got a bunch of different services they can put you on, simple mobile, just all kinds of things they can put you on. So again, if you got a phone that somebody turned off or they treated your brother wrong, you might want to take it down and let them get that sucker back on for you. Okay, that's One Stop Wireless, and again, that number is 320 area code 334-320-2988. Now, one more thing that we are trying to get done before I go into place to do this. Again, the time is getting short for our helping hands. Now, let me explain to you for one time before I get to what we do or what I do. There's always somebody out there that needs a hand. Always somebody. No matter where you find yourself. Okay, no matter where you find yourself, there's always somebody that's doing worse than you. So what we try to do each year is let you determine who gets some help, and we go around town and we ask people for money, and they've been doing it for 9 years. Okay, we've been doing it for 9 years. We go around town, we ask folks for money, and if you want to donate, I'll tell you how to do that. And people, you have to send a letter or an email or something about the person, because nobody can ask for the money. That's the difference about this little charity thing. You can't ask for money. Somebody has to ask for you. Somebody has to know that you need a hand. So what we do is we take the money, okay, put it all together in the bank. And if you ever want to go to Service First Bank on any Service First Bank, you can put money in there directly. And what we do is we try to give people, at least the ones we know about. Can't help everybody, but our motto is you can't help everybody, but you can certainly help somebody. And so what we do is we take the money and we divide it up, but we try to give people at least $500, and one person out of the whole thing would get $1,000. Okay, and that's the person who is in the most dire strait. Okay, we don't get. I don't try to get gift certificates and all that stuff because people sometimes need to pay their light bill. Okay, older people especially need to pay their light bill, and they'll never ask for help. They never will. I've gone to people's homes where their heat was off. They didn't have heat. They didn't have anything. Okay, somebody. This is a way for you to help people, even if you cannot help them. We put a whole lot of little things together, and we try to make it a lot and help somebody. Okay, so if you know somebody, and you got till the 15th to get whatever letter in that you want to bring it to. You can send a letter, and it's let me see. I'll give you the address here. YANCEY. Okay. So now. So there we go, right there. You to it. What's that say? Yeah. Okay. APT1. That's what it is right there. Okay. So we try to do that. And we've been doing it we have been doing it successful. Now, the deal is, though, you cannot tell people, if you send me a letter, you cannot tell people that you did it because we may not get the money. And if we don't get all the money we need, then all we do then is we disappoint people who's already a little bit disappointed. So what we do, how we can do it, is dependent upon you guys, whether or not you want to give us. You can go to, there are many ways you can help us. You can go to, oh yeah, well, they already gave us, we'll get to that in a couple minutes. So what you do, so here are the ways that you can give, okay, to Helping Hands. One, you can go to GoFundMe, and you can find or you can click on this link right here that on my Facebook page, GoFundMe and Helping Hand Good Neighbor Award, or you can just go there by yourself. Award 2025. We'll take anything. If you can help us, at least minimum, we like at least $20. If you can do that, we appreciate that. If you are a Venmo person, you can send it through Venmo at Kevin-Elkins-21. You can do it that way, or you can go Cash App, and you can put in this number right here, 334-241-9998, and you'll see my smiling face, and any amount will do. Okay, we just asked for $20. I mean, it just so if you would help us out. And a couple of days, me and Randy Robinson, a friend of mine, we go out and we surprise people at their house 3 days before Christmas. Maybe this year be around the 22nd, 23rd, and 4th. Yeah, around the 22nd. We show up at their house, and we present them with the money that you have trusted in us, in me, to give to them. Okay, and it can be heartbreaking sometimes, and it can be overwhelming sometimes that people are you never know. As we ride down the streets of Montgomery, and I use this example all the time. The city kept finding the guy because his grass wasn't cut. You know, they just put a new ding on his door. His grass wasn't cut, and so they said, well, well, come to find out, nobody ever knocked on the door. Nobody ever knocked on the door to see why his grass was not cut. He had cancer, and he couldn't cut the grass. So the city just keeps dinging him and dinging him and dinging him, and nobody. And I guess his neighbors didn't really check on him either. You never know what's going on in people's life. You never know. And every once in a while, I'm just saying, every once in a while, it don't hurt to knock on the door, you know, and see what's going on with your neighbor. That's why we call them neighbors. I'm just saying. So anyway, so that's what we do, and we try to do it for 9 years. We've been doing it like this way. It's hard. It seemed to be a little harder this year than it's ever been because I was on the radio then, and but we can actually reach more people here. So if you will, if you can give us, and we film it, we actually film when we do it. We don't make you just believe my word for it. We actually film our interactions with the people for the ones who want us to. Now there's some who don't want us to film them, and I have to respect that because they don't want people to know that they whatever are in a bad way or anything like that. So um, so as you notice, for 9 years I've been doing it, and I'm still driving an old car. Okay, so I don't take your money and go buy a new car, or I don't drink, smoke, don't joke with it. No, uh, God looks at all the things we do, and I realize that. So what we try to do is do the right thing. I just happen to be, and this is from you guys. That's why it's called a Good Neighbor Award. It is the neighbors. It is you, me, and everybody else that understands people. And since I don't have the time to go around to make sure everybody is legitimate, that's why I let you guys put in the people. Okay, but if it's not here by the 15th, though, the letter, whatever the case may be, you won't even be considered. Okay, so make sure, or you can always text me. You can't text me the information, but if you need the address or anything like, you can always text me at that number right there, 241-9998, and I'll send you a reply back. Okay, this is something though that I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, there are people out there that you don't have a clue that walk around like nothing's wrong, and there are lots of things wrong in people. And right now with Alabama Power, I know they're going to freeze the light bill for a while, right? After then screwed us already long enough. I mean, one year they took it up three times. So I'm not impressed that Alabama Power decided, well, let's stop screwing them now. Okay, I'm not even I'm not I don't I'm not I don't even care about them. They just you got old people out here you got old people out here with barely making any money, and they taking the light bill up three times in one year. Okay, they're the most profitable utility company in America almost, and yet and still they had $9 billion this year in not in debt, not in earnings, in profit. Okay, so Alabama Power is not doing us any favor. Okay, they're not. They're what they need to do is give everybody 1 month free. That's what they need to do. Anyway, so the Helping Hands Good Neighbor Award, and I'm gonna I'll remind you of this, and then I'll be done with this. Luke 12:48 says, "For everyone for whom much is given, from him much will be required." And that's out of you and me and everybody else. Okay, I just thought I'd let you know that. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope this day finds you well. I know it takes a while to explain all this stuff. I know, but I got it. I got to do it because people, curmudgeon. Um, you got evil people in the world. Evil people who won't do anything for anybody that I know of. Now he may be. Hey, who knows? He may be taking care of the kids next door. I don't know. But why do you try to damage somebody else from being helped? I don't have a clue. I'm doing okay. Me and Curmudgeon getting a couple government checks. See, we've been blessed, old enough to get Social Security and VA. So we sit around. I mean, I ain't gonna be outside, but I ain't exactly gonna be able to buy that Tahoe I want either. So I'm gonna leave that one alone. I want me a Tahoe so bad, but I just can't afford it. But I love them Tahoes. And then I've been looking at that Cadillac. Oh man, that's a good looking car. But I can't afford that one either. But that's okay. Can't take it with me anyway. So hey, why even worry about it? But So that's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we've been doing for like 9 years, just helping people. So again, if you want to help us, you can go one more time. I'll show this one more time. You can go. Ways to help us would be go to GoFundMe, okay, and look for the Good Helping Hands Good Neighbor Award. Come down And after that, you can go Venmo, and that is at Kevin-Elkins-21, or all that's failed. And make sure you put on, if you do go through Cash App, you make a note that says HH, so I won't think somebody just being nice to me and giving me money. Okay, helping hands. Okay, HH, that's what it's for. Okay, and it'll go to the bank. If I need to show you, go to the bank, I will. See, as long as you give money, I'll give you what we got. That information, you're off. I'll let you do that. I'm not a 501c3. You can't write it off, but listen. There are more things, more pressures than writing it off. It's how the good Lord looks at you. You know, too much is much is given, much is required. But I'm not answering questions for people who don't give no money. Okay, I'm not. So save your questions. I'm not talking to you, whatever the case may be. If you're lucky, you're lucky I'm not rich. Some of y'all I wouldn't even talk to. Anyway, okay then. Hope you liked that Jimmy V thing this morning. It was a good thing. Now, before the mayor gets here, I think he's coming. He's supposed to be coming anyway. Yesterday, there were a lot of conversations downtown yesterday um, about land. I didn't really get the gist of it on TV. Evidently, there is some land in Montgomery that I was Mr. David Humphrey and them that they be whining about this. I don't know what's going on, and I don't know the nuances of the land, except that there's some discussion whether or not we should buy the land or whatever. Now I heard Jen Wright say that we paid $80,000 for a survey. I'm trying to figure out. We're surrounded by all these colleges, and why do we pay for the 80 grand for these things? For somebody to go out there and look at some dirt. I don't have, but thinking I'm ignorant though to surveying and things of that nature. So maybe there's a reason why we need to pay $80,000. Okay, I don't know. I don't know why. But anyway, so when the mayor gets here, we'll ask him about that. What does it say? Shouldn't your billionaires give you the money then? Well, I don't have any billionaire friends, not that I know of. Not that I know of. But listen, you can't make people do things that they don't want to do. Okay, and and to be quite honest, it's people who don't have a whole lot that give often. Okay, I mean, they give out, and I don't want to get in. I don't want to get into politics here, but Republicans, people who call themselves Republican, give more than Democrats, and not that I don't care. Whatever you happen to be, but we always got this thing about. you know, well, they don't give them. They rich. All they do is take that money. Well, if it were not for rich people, there'll be a hell of a lot more poor people because they give jobs. They also create jobs. Election time is coming 2026, so freezing the power bill, yeah, it's too damn late. I certainly agree with you. Certainly agree with you. Okay. Anyway, so don't forget, send a letter. Send it to this address right there, 1917 Yancey Avenue, Apartment 1, and put my name on it, Kevin Elkins, or Helping Hands, whatever the case may be. All right? Shouldn't you be in there? Yeah, yeah. Everybody should give. Okay. You just have millionaire friends. Well, I got a couple of friends that got a couple of dollars in the bank, but that's their money. I can't make them give it to me. And some have given, so that's cool. All right, but you know what? I'm not the only little place in town that's begging people for money. I mean, these people get hit up all year long. I'm also a member of Hope Inspired Ministries. We go around and we ask people for money, also to help those young people and older people who found life kind of difficult. And Hope Inspired Ministries, of course, is a place where you can come and you can get help if you need it. Not financial help, but you can get help on finding jobs and things of that nature. There are people, I didn't realize, there are people who are 60 years old who've never had a job. And you ask them, what did you do? I hustled. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't put that on a resume. You cannot put I hustle on a resume. You just can't do it. Because what does that hustling consist of? We need to start teaching our kids how to get jobs. Okay, because you can't say my job experience is I hustle. Okay, and people like that, when they start getting older, then you can't get a job. So therefore, that is why Hope Inspired Ministries, which is located 135 Coliseum Boulevard, which is why John Bowman, he used to be Assistant Chief of Police, that's why those guys went into business for this, because they seen what we don't see. Okay, they've seen what we don't see. So that's what we do. It's 8 o'clock. Um, I'm hoping the mayor shows up, but if he don't, we'll keep on moving here. Okay, we'll keep on going. But there are things that we can talk about. Okay, one of the things that we want to talk about, it's above your pay grade to question survey prices. Well, it's not above my pay grade, but it probably is above my knowledge base. That's true, because I don't really know what a survey is or anyway. I guess it determines what the land is good for use. The boundaries of the land, things of that nature. I mean, I don't know what it's above my pay grade. Yeah, it is above my pay grade. I don't know anything about surveys. I know one thing though: $80,000 to look at some dirt. That's a pretty good paycheck. Okay, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just saying. But I don't see the mayor showing up. He may show up in a little bit here. I'm not. He's only going to be here for about a half hour anyway. But anyway, moving right along. The other day, there's been some. I heard the mayor the other day on someplace where Roscoe's show or somebody's show, saying that crime is down. Now I'm going in the last 2 years. Now, I'm going to give him. I'm going to give him some slack on this. In 2023, Montgomery had 75 homicides. In 2024, we had 61. As of December the 1st, we've had 59. Now, I can't argue with his message that the murders have gone down, unless you happen to be one of the people who have been murdered. But here's what has not happened that needs to happen: the numerical figures of people murdered has gone down, but the culture of crime seems to be persistent, and it seems to keep coming up. Is that a problem because we don't have enough policemen? But the mayor also keeps telling us the other day that he's got 1,000 people. Okay, it's 1,000 people who want to be policemen. So can we get them checked out already? Another thing, isn't it time we stop dogging people about smoking marijuana? 10 years ago, whatever the case may be. Okay, everybody smoked that stuff. As a matter of fact, yesterday I'm coming down the street and I'm smoking some, and I didn't even have it in the car. All I know is it was coming through my car. I mean, how in the hell can you smoke that much marijuana when it comes through my car? I can't stop driving and air out the car, so I'm smoking it too. Everybody, there's probably going to be marijuana in everybody's blood system, because you got to smell this crap and you got to ingest this junk when you're right on the freeway, right in the city of Montgomery. Who's smoking that much dope that you're going down Atlanta Highway and you're going to get high? I mean, that's a lot of dope. I mean, I can't believe it. So maybe we should let those guys, as long as they ain't smoking while they on duty. Can we just get some of those guys, and at least they know who's smoking the dope, and they can help us get some of them people out there. Okay, I'm just saying. Now, and also convention center. Now, at first, when I heard about the convention center, I told myself, why we need a convention center? Why can't we just use the Coliseum? But the Coliseum is not a good place. I mean, that's why they got cows and cowboys and cow patties and all the other kind of stuff when they bring the rodeo on the town, right? They set it in, and cow poop all over the place. So now we don't want that as a convention center. But it may be time. Columbus has got one. I think Jackson, Mississippi. I think the mayor's probably on to something here, because we could bring more people to town. Maybe get to see a couple of celebrities every once in a while coming into Montgomery for the convention. I'm just saying we might. So it may be time. My understanding, one of the reasons why we didn't want to help the hospital is because we were putting money back to build a convention center. I'm all for it. I think it will bring in conventions. It will bring. I mean, listen. Can we bring somebody to town besides looking at how terrible white people were in 1963? That's all I'm asking. Can we bring somebody into town to feel the warmth and the love that the Alabamians have for each other nowadays? Okay, I mean, so yeah, let bring a convention center. Maybe somebody can just come to town. I mean, now I'm seeing that EGI is partnering with some of our schools. Okay, and again, whatever. Yeah, whatever. These kids need to see some hard time because they certainly haven't seen any since the '90s. These kids having a great time, but okay, I'm just gonna leave EGI alone. I will say one thing about EGI about their presentation though. I will say one thing about it. It is done in a classy way because I wouldn't go for 2 years over there because I just didn't want to see any more horror stories about what Mr. White Man did to the poor black people, and they did it. They did. I just didn't need to see. I'm gonna do what my mom told me to do a long time ago. She said, "Don't hate people, the white people." She said, "Don't trust them." Okay, I think that's pretty good advice. I mean, I don't trust many people anyway, but to linger on in the past, I just don't. To live back there with all the advantages of being an American citizen has given us. Often we, especially as black folks, we still want to hang on to that path. Now, somebody said something the other day that made a lot of sense to me. I mean, it was on what was it on? It was on TV. I think that's what it was on, and he said when the Jewish people talk about the Holocaust, nobody tells them to forget about it. Um, and that's true. That's true. And I'm not saying forget about this. When the Indians whine about what happened to um, um, at Bull Run and other places, I got you. I feel you. I feel you. I got, yeah. Okay, I understand. But here's the big difference in my mind. Here is the difference between what happened to them and what happened to black people in America. Here's the big difference. Everybody that I before mentioned has seen to come up with a plan to empower themselves because of those things. They've empowered themselves. I mean, who owns a gas station around here? Who owns a gas station around here? Who owns uh, uh, the mom and pop stores around here? Okay, uh, my Spanish friends come to town, open up a big old a store where Mr. Calhoun used to be. We open up store. So can somebody tell me what black folks own? What business we? I mean, what business we're in? Does anybody know? I mean, okay, we got a mechanic shop here or there. Okay, that's cool. But I'm talking about what business do we own? We know who owns the gas stations, and we all got to get gas. We know who owns those things, and I'm not mad at them either. They saw an opportunity. They came over here and they tried to make a living for themselves and their families, and so they can send a little money home to help the rest of the crew. But what do we own as black people, except a except a piece of the jail town? Oh, let me see here now. What you want there, Duke?
Look here, dude. You don't have the mail on yet, do you?
Nah, he ain't showed up yet. So I don't.
Oh, okay. I just making sure I didn't want to interrupt this time or whatever.
No.
I'm concerned about your president, man. He's falling asleep. Kind of like the last president we had, but I hadn't heard you guys talk about that. Why is the president going to sleep, man? Everywhere you go.
I didn't talk too much about that when Biden did it. Hey, they were tired. They was tired.
They were tired.
They were tired.
Okay, but what Biden did, y'all say old and feverish and a sleepy Joe. So are you going to get Trump a nickname too?
Trump is about as old. Listen, Trump is
Then,
trying to hold the sidewalk.
on top of that, Cab, he's forgetting stuff. He told a reporter the other day that he didn't mind the whole video of the boat
Hey,
shooting to be released. So a lady asked him yesterday about it. He said, "I ain't say that.
okay,
See that fake news?
listen.
He went to election out."
Okay, I got the mayor on with us right now because his time is valuable. Uh, Good morning, Mayor.
Hey, good morning to yourself. Listen, let me say this, and I agree with you, Willie Durham. Convention Center
Yeah.
is going to more than prove his work. We can talk about that too. But, man, I need you to understand. I'm not like those city councilmen you have on here and those county commissioners.
Mm-hmm.
You can call them at the last minute to get them to come on. But you can at least give the mayor more than 24 hours notice.
Wait a minute.
Or tell me I got an 8 o'clock appointment with you. See, that's how you get in trouble if you say, well, I can't ever reach the mayor. Or the mayor here. Well, if you give me more than 24 hours notice, then we can put you on the schedule. And I'm not coming from a workout where I'm trying to work out some of my Thanksgiving turkey.
I understand.
In between my Christmas and holiday calories, I'll be all right. Then I can look presentable.
Well, Mayor, your man called me, said you were scheduled.
All right, well, I'm going to talk to my man, whoever my man is.
Miguel's a good man. Okay.
Okay, but Miguel and I are going to have a little talk. I'm going to see if his version matches your version.
Okay, well,
I figured maybe a little bit different, but okay.
Yeah, but that's okay. How you doing?
Hey, man, listen, I'm healthy, and we doing all right. Got a little voice issues. Look, I can wear my Vanderbilt Commodore hat. With some pride. I know you're an Indiana guy, so you can do that too during this football season. Family's good, and the community is doing better. So, hey, I'm not going to complain at all.
Okay, you were talking the other day about crime. We ain't gonna spend a whole lot of time on this. And listen, we all know that you're not responsible for crime, but you are accountable for it. And you were right in one of your statements. You said we better off than we were 2 years ago. We are. In 2023 we had 75 homicides. 2024 we had 61, and 2025 as of right now we've had about 59. So the numbers do seem to be going down, but the culture of crime, it seems to be getting worse, not better. And we can't blame you for that. But is there anything else you can think of that maybe we can change the culture of? I mean, we got people educated now more than they've ever been educated in our country's history.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you believe that the culture of criminality is so big part of our culture now?
I think the same reason greed is. I'm 10 years ago, how many billionaires did we have in this country versus 20 years ago versus where we are right now? Greed is accessible and money is accessible. And so people feel like they need to have more of it and do whatever it takes to get that, right? When it comes to crime, it is accessible now. People talk about the good old days under mayor, this person, under mayor, that person. You're right. You didn't know what was happening a block away from you until that afternoon 20 years ago when we were growing up here, 30 years ago when I was in high school here. So when you think about that, now you know instantaneously what's happening everywhere. Everything is breaking news. Everything is live streamed. It can be a car accident. It can be a fire. It can be a fist fight. Whatever it is, somebody's got a camera. So because of those things are coming in, we internalize it more. Listen, I've been in blessed rooms. Don't be mistaken. And with sociologists, consumer behavior specialists, the best marketers, and everything you can imagine. Our brains are taking in hundreds, if not thousands, more images every day than just 25 years ago, Kevin. Mm-hmm. So we are able to see things a lot more. So when people see this guy flashing money on TikTok, or they see somebody on Discord, or they see somebody on Twitch live streaming, it's some young people doing that, much less Facebook, then you have people who feel like, well, hey, maybe that's what I should be doing instead of going to learn this trade and how to be a welder, or how to be an electrician. Is it right? No. I'm just telling you, it's no different than the housewife here who says, I want to be like the housewives of the Potomac, and I want what they have in their house. I want to look like she looks. Is it right? No. But it's no different because we see it and we We're human. So we start to think, well, man, can I do that? Or can I do something like that? And unfortunately, people don't feel like the investment into the long game is worth it anymore. It's about now, it's about me, and it's about what can I have and how quick can I get it. And that's unfortunate, for not only Montgomery, it's unfortunate for our society. And I think the way to try to combat that is to continue to try to teach character, to try to teach, integrity, to try to teach the things that, used to say were common sense, and then to make sure that people see, hey, I know some young guys who have started a company who are using their talent to be a YouTube influencer in the right way. They aren't out here showing money and showing their cars or whatever, showing long guns in their posts. They're showing you how to be a stock trader at an age when I wish I'd known about stocks.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to show them the alternative and hope that over time that starts to kind of sink in with some people who right now see a lot of negative imagery and see a lot of imagery and hear a lot of language about what's bad and who's making it bad, but yet maybe who in their community is seen as a top dog because of the crime that they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get to the Jen Wright last night at the city council at the meeting yesterday was saying something about $80,000 for a survey that I guess we've already paid for. What's that all about? I mean, what do these surveys? That's a lot of money. What these surveys about?
Well, Kevin, listen, it's about research. I'll be talking to you probably at the top of the year about another survey about the community that we're going to do that we're just kind of in the beginning stages on, but excuse me, sorry about that. The research is really a market study of which we have one from 2023 that was done by a firm that really shows where our strengths as a community are and where our weaknesses are. We benchmarked about 10 similar sized cities, Little Rock, Baton Rouge, Birmingham, of course, some of the city, of course, all our state major cities, Savannah, some other places. And we kind of looked at the community to determine whether or not expanding the convention center and bringing in the capacity for a downtown arena was a worthwhile investment. We have the answer to that, and that answer is yes. What this study will show that Councilman Jim Wright was talking about, it's a more updated economic study. Where are we in terms of median household income? Where are we in terms of age? You mentioned education. Where are we in terms of military experience? What do people want in this city? We know what we hear anecdotally on social media, but what are they willing to tell an independent research firm that's going to come and tell us at the city and the Chamber of Commerce what it is the city really is looking for? Again, going off of what we had about 2 years ago, maybe a little bit more than 2 years ago now, we're at the end of 2025, we've gotten some information that showed that, convention center, additional convention center space was needed. The additional ROI, return on investment, let me help you out there, Kevin, is ultimately about $75 to $100 million per year on the economy. So you take a percentage of that and you bring that in our general fund, it more than pays for itself through sales taxes, lodging taxes, and alcohol and beverage tax. And guess what? Those are taxes from people who don't live here in Montgomery. Those are people who are coming in as visitors to spend money in Montgomery, in the river region. Listen, some of that money is going to go to Prattville. Some of that money is going to go to Pike Road. Some of that money is going to go to Millbrook and Wetumpka. Some of that money is going to go to Greenwood. Some of that money is going to go throughout. But we know that this investment will pay for itself, no different than the convention center did under Mayor Bobby Bright 20 years ago, and no different than the Riverwalk Stadium did under Mayor Bright 20 years ago as well.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm all at first when I first heard about it. Well, but it makes sense. Because if we don't have it here, they're gonna go someplace else. I mean, they're
Absolutely.
gonna go. Yeah. So that makes sense to me. What we looking at in numbers to build it?
I think we're looking at on the low side, $150 million. I think that's low. We're budgeting for more than that. We know that costs are going up. We know that the Trump tariffs are impacting the cost of goods and the cost of labor. We know that things may be in, I don't like to look at things from best case scenario. To be honest, I like to look at them from the worst case scenario. What happens if things go wrong? What am I looking at then? Okay. So they got about 150 million right now. I expect it to be probably closer to 175. Is my thought, and that's what I like
But
the budget for.
yeah,
Because
well,
we want it to be done right. Let me say this:
yeah, we do.
I don't believe in cheap.
Hmm.
I believe in doing it right. And if if you're going to do something like this and really get the bang for the buck, you can't cut corners. You cannot cut costs. We've seen cities to try to do that. It's come back to bite them. I've had mayors, I've had city managers, I've had other people come and tell me that, versus the cities that said, you know what, we decided we were going to do it right the first time, and we haven't had the issues, and that's what we're going to do with this. It's too important to the city, but really, Kevin, is more important to the regional economy. And we talk a lot about Montgomery as if it's Montgomery versus Pike Road or Prattville. Prattville ain't my competition. Pike Road ain't my competition. Wetumpka ain't my competition. None of them are. They all benefit and they all need Montgomery to be strong and healthy. So none of them are my competition. Now, there's some other cities up I-65 that may be my competition. Some other cities, down I-20 that may be, and so forth, and up I-85. But it's not the river region. We're a collective regional economy that has to think like that, and this is a part of that approach to make sure everybody is doing better. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and beyond.
Has Montgomery's, and you were born here, so I got here in '91. So has Montgomery's personality in your mind changed?
That's a great question, Kevin. Who gave you that question? That's not original. I know somebody gave you that.
No, nobody gave it. I've been here since 34 years. It's the personality of Montgomery has changed. I don't know if it's for the good, worse, or but there has been a significant change.
Okay, you said there has been?
Yes.
Okay, I would say we're changing. We're evolving. Yes, not as fast as I would like, not as fast as probably most would like. We're getting there. When you look at cities that have changed over the last 25, 30 years, really what has changed a lot of those cities has been outside investment, has been, new jobs, and really bringing in new people that say, well, why are you guys doing education this way? Why are you doing public safety this way? Why are you doing public health this way? Why are you doing business this way? Usually it's people kind of coming in and challenging the status quo, if you will, and challenging those of us who have grown kind of accustomed to just how things are. And Montgomery has had some ups and downs with that. Hyundai obviously was major in the mid 2000s in doing that. Now we're kind of we had to hit a little lull there for a little bit in the 2010s, and I think because of our economic growth and investment, we're starting to come out of that. I think our election has brought new leadership and new ideas to the table. It's brought us critics too, and that happens. That comes with it. And that doesn't matter if you're Sandy Stimpson in Mobile, or it doesn't matter if you're, Stephen Reed in Montgomery. When you're new, things kind of change. But I think we're changing, and I think some of the investments of the Equal Justice Initiative, led by Brian Stevenson, has been key to that. That tourism has changed, this community tremendously. I couldn't have predicted that when I came in 2019. I don't know if the Equal Justice Initiative could have predicted that. It has fundamentally changed, and I also think our investments into other things that will allow Amana Beverages and allow these multi-billion-dollar investments coming into the city and the people that come with them is changing not just Montgomery, but I think it's changing the river region, because not all of them live in Montgomery. It's changing the river region as well.
Okay. The Meta Center that's I guess is going up out there. It is my understanding, and you please correct me if I'm wrong, which won't be the first time. Power consumption by the Meta Center is going to be significant.
Yeah.
Do we, as the citizens of Montgomery, get a piece of that bill, or do they pay for all of that energy they're going to use?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. So let me tell you how we benefit from it. All right. So I think we benefit from it from the standpoint of the business licenses, taxes that it brings in. That is why, in part, why we had the largest budget in the city's history. Mm-hmm. So that investment allows money to come back to the city's general fund, which allows all the members of the council to say, hey, we want to do more street paving over here. We want to fill more potholes over here. We want to pick up more trash over here. We want to improve lighting and other infrastructure over here. And it allows us in the mayor's office to do the same and say, all right, let's do
But
that.
is it not right? Well, the question is though, do we have to share some of the burden?
Yes. Hey, Kevin.
I mean, they got plenty of money. So why we got to pay?
There's nothing free in this world. I think I've heard you say that over your time on radio.
That's true,
Okay.
but I don't want to pay for their light bill.
Well, again, we get the benefits from it. We get the benefits from it. We're not paying as much as some other communities are paying.
Okay.
Let me be clear about that.
Hold on a second.
Yes.
Turn that thing down. Go ahead. You got the mayor.
Can you check your text messages, please?
Oh, that's why you called me?
Yes.
You don't want to talk to him? We got him.
I have a question sent to you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm running a bunch of things here at the same time. I don't see a question.
Okay, so do I need to read those out? Hold on.
Yeah. No.
Is that what I need to do?
Well, you got him. You got him. Just ask him.
No, hold on. Someone's trying to call me. Let me get this number.
Well, you text them back to me, and I'll look at them.
Thank you.
I've already texted them to you. The telephone number.
Yeah, you must 922-3030. That's the number I get the texts on.
Hey, Elk, man, let's go, man.
I'm going.
Say it again.
I'm going, man. 922-3030.
Come on.
922-3030.
Yeah.
Deacon Durham, help you, man. Deacon, I know you out there. You and Pastor Lee be walking, Junior. Y'all help Elk man out.
Hey, listen.
He need more than prayer.
Wait a minute.
Get him out there
Since I have been here, I've always complained about one thing, and that is our insatiable appetite for reminding us of the vestiges of the past.
Okay, I hear that.
Now,
I hear that. I know where you're going. Keep going.
The problem I have is everybody else seems to have empowered themselves because of that past.
Mm-hmm.
We complain a lot about that past, but we haven't gotten any power out of that past.
That's not true.
Okay, well, tell me. And I'm looking at Montgomery, and I said, well, what do we own? What do Black folks own in Montgomery besides real estate downtown on Ripley Avenue? What do we own?
Well, Kevin, I'm trying to wait for you to clean this up before I say something.
Well, I'm just trying to bring people here. And listen, the EJI thing, I didn't go to for 2 years because I didn't need another reminder of what happened years ago. I didn't need another one. I got enough of them. I know what happened. I know what happened to our people, what happened to my mother.
Hey, Kevin, let me interrupt.
Tell me, why is it so important?
So listen, we commemorate the 84th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. Would anybody say that we don't need to be reminded about what happened on December 7th, 1941? You're a veteran. I appreciate you and everybody else that served. Of course we need to be reminded. Current and future generations need to be reminded about the sacrifice that men and women in our military made on that day and what the Japanese did to us and what launched us into World War II. It's important to understand history at all levels, of course, whether you like it or not.
Well, not live back there all the time. Not constantly. We're bringing people to this town to see. We're bringing people in this town to see how bad it used to be, and I understand that.
But here's the thing, though. It's not that we don't bring them here just to talk about Montgomery. We bring them here to talk about the United States, and so we bring them here to talk about the challenges the pain the nation has had, but also the progress. We don't talk just about the pain.
I don't hear much about the progress, but
what's that?
I don't hear much. There are no monuments to the progress, but
there are come on now, Kevin. There are monuments to the progress because of the people who we honor, who helped change things, that helped change the nation, that brought about legislation, policies, and investment that led this country to seeing the best productivity that it's had ever. Now, it is under immense threat. Now, that's the question we ought to be talking about. It's under immense threat, right? It's under direct attack right now, the gains of the last 60 years. And that's why it's important for us to talk about it. When you see the Supreme Court basically rubber stamping racial gerrymandering, that's a problem. That has the ability to put us back into a post-Reconstruction political environment, which you did not have the amount of Black elected officials that you had. So when people say, well, where's the progress? You're looking at one, direct descendant. Derek Cunningham, direct descendant. I can keep going down the list. Our city council, our elected officials. Now people say, okay, well, you're elected. How does that matter? We put $80 million in Fairview Avenue. Tell me the last mayor who put $80 million in West Montgomery. You can't name them. So there's a difference because of perspective and understanding and being approximate to the community that exists now. But we didn't do 80 million at the expense of East Montgomery. We didn't do that at the expense of business. Let me say this. You said who owns what? Manna Beverages is owned by a very, very influential Black company and firm, right? Junior Bridgman, late Junior Bridgman, was a CEO and founder of that, owned by his family and others. Significant medical place, Dr. Alfred C. Wright, significant businessmen here.
Let me see if I can get. Let me see if I can get.
You think of the doctors and the small business owners, that is signs of the progress. Now, we got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. The amount of investment from our banks into our community, whether it's Liberty Bank, Trustmark Bank, others, regions, and others, is significant.
Let me see what this is. Let me see.
We have a lot of progress. I don't want us to I don't want us to say we're just living in the past. We're commemorating the past, and we're acknowledging where we are in the present and building for the future.
Brenda, you're on the phone with the mayor. Brenda. Okay, then.
Ms. Mills has a question. Are there any plans to annex Snowden area into the city? Not that I'm aware of, but let me say this. I saw Mobile annex 11,000 people into their city so they can stay over a certain population, so they can be considered a mid-sized city as people kind of moved out. I saw that move. Huntsville is annexing, I think, every hour of every day. I'm not opposed to annexation if it makes sense for the city of Montgomery and the residents. Mr. Evans. Thank you for that question.
Go ahead. What you got for the mayor, Brenda?
Okay, hold on. I just got it.
Yeah, Kevin, we're going to go people list a little bit now.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear her, Mayor?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Okay. How successful has conflict resolution been in the city of Montgomery?
Not successful as we would like, but I think we have made very, very good progress. I just spoke to the Office of Violence Prevention last night. They had a mental health roundtable. Did a great job last night talking about the importance of acknowledging and treating mental health in our community and how it plays into violence that we see, whether it's domestic related or not. I think we have seen tremendous numbers from non-fatal shooting being reduced to other violent crime being down about, total violent crime being down about 25% year over year. And that's combined with what we were doing last year, which was even lower. We've seen significant drops. Now, we got to get more into the schools. This came up yesterday. We have to get more into the community with Save Our Streets and Live Free and the other organizations that are helping us in this space. But I think we've done good work. I commend all the pastors, all the community leaders who've been helping us with that, most of whose names y'all don't know, but do the work each and every day to help us in that area. And I think that the city, county, and everybody being on board with that has helped this city improve and will continue to help this city be a safer city and a less violent city. So we're going to continue to teach conflict resolution, and I hope we can have additional partnerships to help us with that.
Brenda, let me get somebody else. When you guys call, you got to turn down whatever you got in the background. It'll be confusing to you. When the phone starts ringing in your end, you turn down whatever you're listening to. And again, I know we have progressed somewhat in our culture in America. But it does, and you brought up the well, I'll get to that after Willie talks to you. Good morning, First Sergeant.
Hey, good morning, Sergeant Elkin. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, sir.
Mayor Reed, can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
I don't know if you can hear me. But anyway, Mayor, I want to ask if you could address some of the challenges I hear in the community is folks say you're often out of the city. Can you talk about the benefits to the citizens of Montgomery of your traveling and getting best practices and exposure and the Ford Foundation and the networking opportunities that you have by traveling and meeting with your peers and other foundations, how the citizens of Montgomery benefit from that? And also, great job for the 70th anniversary. Thank you. I'll hang up and listen to your response.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Hey, let me say this. I haven't been going as much since January 2025 as I was in January before that time. There's not a whole lot of opportunities for mayors to talk to this administration of any political persuasion as there was under the Biden administration. So, post-COVID, there was a lot of opportunity there. And listen, I'm grateful for it. We couldn't pay for the expertise we've gotten from the Ford Foundation, Bloomberg Philanthropies, Microsoft, Brookings Institute, Harvard, you can't name it. We just couldn't pay for
it really don't do anything for us locally. I mean, it's philosophical. But Mayor,
Kevin, I'm going to say this and don't take this personally. But that's an ignorant statement.
Okay. Now, well, let me ask you something.
Let me say this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Let me answer the question.
It's theoretical.
So when you don't have money, you have to go to people who have money.
True.
Right? So when you don't, and Montgomery and let me say this, Central Alabama as a region is the poorest region in the state, in which is one of the poorest states in the country.
But why is that?
We're the poor because of, that's a whole nother conversation. Policy, education. There are a lot of reasons why that is. You don't have time for me to get into that, but I'd be more than happy to come and speak to it.
But they're self-inflicted for the most part, especially education. They're self-inflicted.
Well, hey, Kevin, we didn't pass a lottery in 1999. Would have brought additional revenue. Georgia had just passed theirs in 1990. I think we can see the difference from the 90s to now. We didn't pass a property tax increase under Bob Riley called Amendment 1. South Carolina did. I think we can see the difference in growth from the 2000s to now. So yes, it's self-inflicted because we have a loser's mentality. But I don't have time to do that. I want to make sure I answer the caller's question. Mm-hmm. And when you don't have resources, then you have to go to people that do have the resources to help the community. So for us, we aren't content. You said this. We aren't content living in the past. We want to be a city of the future. So in order to do that, that means you have to build the relationships with the federal government. You have to build the relationships with Wall Street. You have to build the relationships with Silicon Valley. You have to build the relationships with corporate America. Well,
give me some direct benefit that has helped Montgomery having those relationships with those people. Give me some direct benefit that Montgomery has prospered from.
Well, one, you don't have the planning that we have for North Montgomery without the Mayor's Institute for City Design.
We've been planning that since I've been here for 34
years.
No,
you haven't.
Yeah, we have.
You don't have the white paper expertise on that. Okay, that's number one. Number two, okay, let me give you the better. Let me shut this down. How about $36.6 million we got from the Biden administration for West Montgomery?
Okay, getting our money back is not a benefit.
No. Don't try that little thing.
That's our money. That's our money.
$36.6 million grant, the largest grant in the city's history. Why don't I just drop the mic on that?
Well, and I think it should, but we're still trying to get sewage. We're still trying to get sewage in certain neighborhoods in Montgomery.
Listen, and we're going to continue to do that.
We've been talking about it for 30 years.
Hey, Kevin, hold on.
Yes, sir.
The caller asked, and I was answering his question about traveling to expose the city and bringing back resources and revenue and things that we don't have. We brought back $5 million in grants for small businesses. All right, we did not have that. We brought back from Heartland Ford, which is affiliated with the Walton Foundation out of Bentonville, Arkansas. We brought back Pebble grants. You're asking for direct advice. to small businesses, in particular women small businesses that we had in this city. Direct benefit. All right. Brookings Institute laid out our plan for small business investment in Montgomery that we had never had before. McKinsey and Company laid out the plan for economic growth in the city, mapping income by age, by race, by household value. We had never had that.
Well, listen, we got a lot of planning going on. That's for sure.
No. Hey, Kevin, you have to have, I mean, listen, I guess if you go to the doctor, Kevin, the doctor could cut open your hip, but you might say, I came here for my heart. Well, he going to say, look, I cut open something. So do you want the doctor to have a plan and know what it is, or do you want to just start cutting? I mean, so you can't say that when we're talking about the Gates Foundation and we're talking about, you know, all these partnerships that we have, that they aren't paying off.
Politically, and politically, I hear what you're saying, but
politically, it don't pay. Hold on, no.
Exactly.
Time out. Hold on, I got to get a TO. Politically, it doesn't benefit you. They tell us that from day one because people want their trash picked up, people want their streets safe, they want their streets clean. So none of this benefits us now politically. But talk to any growing city, talk to any growing region, from Greenville, Spartanburg, South Carolina, to Raleigh, Durham, to Richmond, Virginia, talk to any of them, and these are things you have to do to lay the foundation for government, the private sector, and philanthropy, including others that in other spaces, to understand where the issues are and how to solve them, and better yet, who to partner with. Hey, Kevin, I wish I was the mayor of Plano, Texas sometime. They ain't got to worry about no money. They got more money than they can count. But we're not. I'm born and raised in Montgomery, glad to be the mayor here. But when you don't have the resources, you have to build relationships to bring those resources back to help you really create the change that the people want to see. But it is a long process.
Oh, okay, man. Okay, I'm in the wrong.
Okay, and so it doesn't always benefit you in the now. So this isn't just about politics. And so, you know, I can go get you something cheap and give you that and say we're doing something, cut a ribbon tomorrow.
Let me see who this is. All right. Good morning, Brenda. Hello.
And by the way,
okay.
I'm traveling with these
turn that down.
Listen, you didn't let me finish.
Places,
okay, you just hung up.
I'm
going to tell him what the question is. If he can jot it down, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, hold on. Okay, why can't the city of Montgomery form a consortium of 501c3s and other organizations that receive monies from the city? And the facilitators would be be over it from the city. How successful has the violence intervention office been? It seems to be ineffective and worthless. When will we address the departure of police officers? There is a major problem in that organization. Has a feasibility study been done?
I got other people now. I got other people. Okay. Let him
and I want to remind you that the Coliseum itself has been a failure for years.
Okay, well, let him get, you know.
Which one you want me to take on that one, Kevin?
Just take any one of them you want.
that was a lot.
The police department, you said you got more people, 1,000 applications for the police department?
900 in the queue.
Okay.
They won't all make it, but yeah, it's great to have that pool for sure. We're going to do a pay study to look at a pay increase. It will be the second time in 6 years.
They making enough money already. They making good money. They making good money.
I'm gonna let you tell them that, but okay, I'm gonna keep going. Well, you have to do that because the pool of police officers is short. I mean, it's not the job. There are more options. It's like teachers. There's more options for people to make that kind of money now than it was 30 years ago. So people keep saying, well, it wasn't like this in the 90s. You didn't have these kind of jobs making this kind of money either. When I can be an Amazon delivery guy dropping off a package at my house, making similar money.
Okay.
So that's going very well. She also asked another question about the Office of Violence Prevention. I think the Office of Violence Prevention has been
well, it hasn't prevented violence.
Well, listen, nobody says it's going to eliminate violence, Kevin.
Y'all named it. The Office of Violence
You
Prevention.
said they had prevented violence. You don't know that. Again, that's another ignorant statement. Kevin, you on a roll today.
Okay.
You don't know no better.
Okay.
You don't know how much
Do we still wait a minute? Do we still have violence?
Yes, we don't have as much. I'm giving you 2 years worth of stats, and then all your right wing commentators
But those are just
to
the
bring
killings.
me the Fox News talking points from everything they have.
Yeah, those are just killings, though. That doesn't mean
that's not killings. Hold on, no.
I'm looking at the record here.
No. That's violence. That's aggravated assault. That's right. Those are part 1 crimes. That's not just killings. I wish our killings were down by 25%, and we're working on that. But no, that's not. And we got more to do when it comes to that. Some of that is with the judges. Some of that's with the legislature and the bail and bonds laws. Some of that's with permitless carry. So I hope that when the legislature comes back in session, you'll ask some of your good friends about some of those common sense gun reform ideas that we're proposing for them to see if they really want to pass that to make the community safer.
Oh, listen, I'm with you on that. This gun thing. Montgomery cannot have a law or ordinance say you cannot carry in the city unless you have identification on you.
We are working on that. That something to that effect will be introduced in this session, and we're gonna see if we can get it passed.
Yeah, I say let the AG take you to court. I mean, this is crazy. All our people getting killed around this place.
Kevin, you and I can agree on that.
Yeah, which ain't too often.
You're right.
but you're all right with me. Listen, we don't have a lot of time. I know you're a busy man. He told me you was going to stay for a half hour. Give me a couple of your top 4 things you want to accomplish while you're mayor.
Oh man. Well, one, we want to see, those homicides come down significantly, and we aren't there yet. Be the first to say that. We want to do more to prevent the taking of someone's life. I mean, a shooting is bad enough, goodness gracious. But we gotta change the culture of violence in this city. So it's no question that's 1. 2, we've got to improve our educational output. There'll be an announcement later this week that I think moves us in that direction. But we got to improve the education and the various types of education. We got to bring trades and workforce development and skills training and apprenticeships into our schools so that people who don't feel like they're going to college don't feel like they should skip school and just stop coming. We went too far. We overcorrected 25 or so years ago. And it's not just here in Montgomery. The United States overcorrected. And we pulled skills and we pulled trades out. And we had everybody thinking everybody's going to be an intellectual and it was going to be that type of economy. And it is. Well, now you got AI and that's even changing. So we got to make sure our educational output is better because that is a major issue. I wouldn't have said this to you earlier this year, but it's an issue now. We got to address public health in this community. Yeah. We got a major issue with Jackson Hospital. Baptist South and all of our Baptist hospitals are challenging us as well. And then I think the last piece, we got to expand our economy. We got to expand our economy. We got to grow it. We got to grow businesses and we got to grow revenue in the city of Montgomery and in the river region so that people have more jobs and more economic opportunity to have the type of living they want. Those would be my 4.
Okay. Don, turn on whatever you got down. Good. You're on the air with the mayor.
I have nothing on.
Oh, good.
Mr. Mayor, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well, sir. How about you?
Can you hear me? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, we hear. Yeah, here's. Yeah.
I can respond. Why can't they hear me?
Remind me what that $36 million was supposed to buy. Wasn't that charging station from here to Selma?
Not quite, sir. But it was to improve infrastructure on West Fairview Avenue. It was to improve brownfield remediation and to bring about development. And some of that was charging, some of that was bike lanes, some of that was lighting, some of that was infrastructure that wasn't there. It's still not there. But that's been held up because, it was a DEI grant, so they said, Kevin.
I didn't hear an answer. Am I supposed to?
Well, I don't. Well, I'll tell you what his answer was in a second here. Let me tell you what he said. The $36 million we got. Now that he brought it to my attention, that it was about putting them electric service stations up and down 80 or something like that. But you said
it was not going down 80. It was going down Fairview Avenue along with housing, along mixed-use housing, bike lanes, lighting, as well as improving the Wi-Fi in Greensboro area that does not have the same type of Wi-Fi that you have in East Montgomery. So why should one part of the city have great high-speed internet and the other part we can't get internet too? So that was a part of it, was certainly from the environmental standpoint to do that. And it was to do what the Doge inventor, I guess, wanted, Elon Musk, wanted was to have more outlets for electric cars, which are here whether we want them to be or not, and to make sure that those type of investments don't just go to certain neighborhoods and certain communities. So it was all of those things. But like I said, that's been hung up since we got a new president. And some people would rather us not have that $36 million, which would also put people to work, by the way,
right,
to improve those things.
Is it a cheap attack that you do, and not only you, people of your like-minded, it's a cheap attack to say that the president is all about race? I think philosophy plays a big part in politics. What you believe in, okay? Republicans and Democrats don't believe the same thing. Okay? I mean, not on the court.
Hey, Kevin.
But y'all run the race thing.
Kevin, when you have a president who says, when I see a black pilot, I wonder if he's qualified. For those that say I travel, I've traveled with an Asian American pilot. In the last week and a half, I've traveled with a black pilot, a white female pilot. Are we gonna say that they weren't qualified? But you say it's not about race. He made it about race.
Wait a minute. Did you know that the FAA went out purposely to hire people for the FAA that were intellectually disabled? Did you?
Curse on your podcast.
I know you said no. Look it up. They went out purposely to find people who were intellectually somewhat. I don't know what position they were in. I'm not saying they're flying airplanes, but if they're anywhere in that chain, people with intellectual disabilities, okay, that's a dangerous to the whole process.
Hey, Kevin, let me say this.
That's your Biden administration did that.
Listen, we are going to talk about who's qualified in this administration. You can start with the Secretary of Defense. So you want to talk about a DEI hire? You can start with
all
that.
I know is he kicked down doors and defended this country.
So what? I didn't kick down doors.
So what? So what?
So what? So what?
So what?
People, listen.
Wait a minute. Who are your administrations kicked down doors and defended this country?
Well, listen, I would say I defended the country. I would say my parents defended the country. Do you want to talk about the domestic terrorism that we were just commemorating 70 years ago? Okay, so see, those people serve in a different kind of army, Kevin. Those people serve in a different type of organization.
Okay, listen.
They just couldn't fight back. They just didn't have guns. They served against a militia right here in Montgomery, Alabama, which beat people, dragged people off of a bus, set it on fire. No, wait a minute. Now I'm still black. I know about it. Okay, so I know 2 miles away from here. So listen, let's not wrap ourselves in the flag and act like that inoculates us from all issues. We got good veterans who've done great things. We got some veterans who didn't. That didn't just start. That goes back to the beginning of the Revolutionary War. All right, so that's not new. So let's not confuse.
I'm just saying though, but it's philosophy. It's political philosophy that the difference.
Pete Hegseth over no CQ Brown, would you? You would not say Pete Hegseth is more qualified than General CQ Brown.
If General Brown, wait a minute, if General Brown, and some of them generals have forgot their place in there, their job is not to
Kevin.
Their job is not to deal with politics.
You a straight question, you giving me a lawyerly answer.
It's a political position.
Pete Hegseth is more qualified than General CQ Brown. Yes or no? Hell no. Let me answer that question. Probably. You know good and hell well you're not. How many missions CQ Brown fly, Kevin? You want to make it about that?
Well, I don't know how many missions.
Listen,
I hope he did his job.
Hold on. You took it here. You're going to tell me that Pete Hegseth is more qualified than Admiral Halsey? You want to make it about the flag of who kicked in doors? You check Admiral Halsey's record in the U.S. Navy? But you know he's a Morehouse man, by the way, don't you?
Yeah, I appreciate that too.
Okay. You want to check Pete Hex's record
But the
against
problem
Afro
is
Hoses?
those right, but
Come
those
on, Kevin.
positions are political and not necessarily based on inexperience. The president had never been to war with anybody, but he can send people to war.
Listen,
Listen, it's
I didn't want to
political.
go there either. When you say how many doors have he kicked in, I'm
I
like,
mean, but
last time I checked, Trump had a bad heel when it was time for him to go to when it was time to go to Vietnam.
well,
So
a lot of people did.
Hey, I understand that.
Mm.
Listen, I understand that. But I'm saying, let's not say it's not about race when we know it's about race.
It's I said more about philosophy than race. I'm sorry, I just can't go along with the race thing.
Listen, and for anybody who wants to hide their head in the sand and act like it's not, then that's on them. But don't try to get me to believe that. Okay. That's what, if you want to do that to make yourself feel better, that's fine. We just talked about 70 years ago. Guess what, Kevin? People 70 years ago in this city, in this state, and in the South said it's not about race. Do you know what they said it was about? Southern culture. It's about what we believe.
But that was about race. Well, Southern culture was about race back in those days.
But I'm saying you can read the articles, you can read the editorials from the advertiser and so forth, and you will see. Yeah. I'll be prominent leaders here now. Mm-hmm. Prominent leaders, including city officials at the city of Montgomery.
That's true.
So I'm just saying.
Hey, one more question before I get you off. The Whitehurst people. Why did the city want to give them anything?
Man, we had this conversation for the last 6 years.
But we still haven't helped that family at all. The city of Montgomery took that man's life. Why is it?
I don't deny the city of Montgomery took that man's life.
And they're responsible. So why haven't we given them?
There are a lot of legal reasons why that hasn't resulted in a financial settlement. And Kevin, to be honest with you, I don't know that it will. I just don't know that it will. Okay. There's a lot there. That come out.
You the one just brought it. Wait a minute, you the one just brought it 70 years ago. This was 50 years ago when they killed him. When the Montgomery police killed a black man in the city of Montgomery, and for some reason we can't seem to help them.
Well, Kevin, I think every situation has its own unique circumstance.
So murder is murder. They murdered me.
Listen, I think there are a lot of reasons why a crime and a shooting that happened that long ago and others that have happened since then. When we forget about some of the other cases.
Y'all took care of a couple of them that happened since then.
Some that have more extenuated, some that was a little bit more clearer in the case itself and what the facts were, and some that were not. So not everybody has been made whole.
Well, when the police get on the police band and say we didn't shot the wrong nigga, I think that's pretty much a solid case there about racism and murder.
Oh, definitely that.
We want you to make it happen. We want you to take care of that family.
Hey, listen, I want to take care of a lot of families in the city of Montgomery. We do the best we can every day.
Okay. Well,
hey, but Kevin, listen,
to be continued. You know, I gotta go.
I enjoy this conversation with you, and listen, I totally agree with the deacon who shared his thoughts on MLK Day and
I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that.
It's not about race. It's about philosophy. But listen, hey, my thing is, look, hey Kevin, here's what I would appreciate what you say a little bit better. So when I'm not here, you talking about me later on today and tomorrow. What I'd appreciate you saying is, hey, every administration has the opportunity to appoint whoever they want to appoint, whether they be qualified or not. This would not be the first administration to appoint people who are not qualified like Hexton. It won't be the last. And I'm okay with that. Just say that. Just don't try to tell me that Hexton is more qualified.
Well, I listen. I'll give you that one. I'll submit to that. I'll capitulate on that.
You talk about missions. You talk about kicking it down. This man has flown everywhere there is to fly.
But he did his job. He did his job. That was his job.
And listen, and a lot of great men and women do that. But don't single out the women and don't single out certain people of a certain, background and then say it's just philosophy. Okay. It's a little bit different than that. So,
Mayor, I gotta go.
Don't run from me now because you've been.
Well, I gotta go. Time's up.
I challenge you. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Let's come back at the beginning of the year. Everybody have a Merry Christmas.
You too.
Happy New Year. And we'll be back in 2026. Hopefully.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And hopefully after 27, huh?
That's right.
That's right.
Bye.
See you later. All right, then. Listen, I know a lot of people want to get in on Mayor. Evidently, you guys can't hear the call. I mean, I heard you quite well, actually. Come think about it. Anyway, I say it's still more about philosophy than race, but that's just me. That's just one black man's opinion. Let me see what else is going on. What you say there, Chuck? If there is a God, where's he at? But I'm waiting him to come and save you. Okay. It's not about race until Jesus comes back. Okay. Democrat politicians promise payback. Democrat follower, keep waiting. Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. Listen, I gotta go, I guess. I gotta play this show later on today because it was an interesting conversation with the mayor. Let me see. Mayor, I can say you have made my day. Okay, then. Maybe I'm just a different cut of the cloth. Being from Indiana, maybe my mentality is not quite as well. It's not quite as, I don't know, as saturated with the possibility that everything that happens is about race. But hey, listen, not from Montgomery, Alabama. Y'all didn't change me yet. But I did go out on Notre Dame Stadium one day, right, Roll Tide. So I've been here a little while. Anyway, we got to go, but hopefully we'll see. But we're going to play this one later on, so y'all can tell your friends we'll play this one later on tonight, later on this afternoon, so people can listen to me really whoop up on the mayor. Okay, I really didn't whoop up on the mayor, but I let him get his piece out. Anyway, gotta go. Have a great day, everybody. And wow, interesting. But hey, one thing about it though, I'll give. He'll give as good as he gets. So I like him for that. He's not intimidated by anybody. I can appreciate that. And remember, not the falling down that gives us the strength. It is getting up each and every time we do. Have a great day.
Through valleys deep and mountains high, your faith a beacon in the sky. Every trial with